Greetings, programs. This is Wretch, and welcome back to Steve Jackson's Starship Traveler. In the last episode, we got into a number of situations in which we relied on our science officer Zarg to help us get out of a jam. And speaking of jam, we had an interesting first contact situation as Captain Joel and another alien got combined in a transporter malfunction. So we got done with that. Captain Joel is fortunately in his own body with his own mind, and we have a choice between going to a large gray planet or searching for an alternative destination. So let's go ahead. We've got a map here, and I wasn't aware of this, but look at all these places that we've gone to. That's pretty cool. So we've got a gray planet, Darville. Let's go ahead toward a large gray planet. Why not? And we already have our bookmark here. Sensors indicate that you are traveling past a large spaceport some distance to starboard. If your ship is damaged, you may wish to dock for repairs, otherwise you may continue onward. Is the Traveler damaged? I think it is, actually. Let's look at the adventure sheet. Oh, 10 out of 16 shields. Yeah. Let's go ahead and dock for some repairs. As you approach the spaceport, you receive a confused message warning you not to dock. You try again to contact the spaceport, but receive no reply. Well, we need the repairs, and there could be a chance that something bad's happened on that spaceport, so let's go ahead and dock anyway. You dock at the spaceport and head through the airlock to the command center. You may take up to 3 crew members with you. Let's take Zarg, Medical Officer Muscles, and Security Officer Drake. Our basics. You have made your selection. Continue to the spaceport. As you walk around the complex, you pass creatures of various alien races. Curiously, you notice that they all appear to walk with difficulty and shrink away from you as you approach, spluttering and stumbling as if in some sort of daze. At the command center, you meet the port commandant. He is disheartened by your presence and explains that a resilient strain of a microorganism has infected the spaceport and the infection is widespread. He can send his engineers to attend to your ship, but you will have to provide them with an EVA suits and destroy these suits afterwards. You agree. The Traveler's weapon strength and shield scores are restored to their initial levels, but at the risk of possible infection. Ew. Okay, well, let's leave the spaceport. What could go wrong? You set off again towards the large gray planet. Unfortunately, endangering your crew has resulted in a crew member contracting the infection. Now, let's see which crew member is affected. How about Security Officer Drake? He seems like a strong sort. Drake appears to have contracted the microorganism from the space station. Medical Officer Muscles tries desperately to come up with a cure. Equal or lower to 11. That'll do it. Thanks to the intelligence and experience of your medical officer, they managed to find a cure in time. Drake thanks them profusely. Although you are lost in space, your crew takes a brief moment to celebrate this good news. Celebrate with the crew. Do we have a 10 forward on this ship? You take up orbit position around the large gray planet and scan the surface. There are possible radio signs of intelligent life, and you try on all frequency radio message. Sometime later, a message comes through and you transfer it to screen. A gray-colored alien with a tiny round mouth and flattened nose appears and introduces himself as the Gitate of the Malini mining outpost. You introduce yourself and tell him of your mission. You learn that Malini is a mining planet, mining melanite, a valuable mineral ore. He invites you down to the planet and suggests your crew may well be interested in a visit as the contests, sporting events arranged for the entertainment of the miners are in full swing. He gives you coordinates for beaming down, but interference distorts the message and you cannot be certain whether he gave you 223.473.85 or 223.473.83. Awesome. Let's go ahead and bookmark this, shall we? And let's beam down. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Assemble your crew for the Malini mining outpost. And select 2 members to accompany us. Well, let's go with Science Officer Zarg and Medical Officer Muscles. Gotta go with Spock and McCoy. You've made your selection. Continue down to the planet. As you materialize on the surface, you're greeted by Gitate. He invites you into his office and tells you more about the planet. Yay! You explain you feel that the only way back to your own universe is to travel back through a black hole, and ask whether anyone on the planet is likely to be able to help. He thinks this likely. A bleeper on his desk summons him to the arena. He makes his apologies and leaves. Let's await his return. You wait for perhaps an hour, but Katate does not return. The door opens and a hover robot enters the room. It stops abruptly as it senses you, and various whirrings indicate it is contacting its central processor. It speaks to you, telling you to follow it. Alright, let's go ahead and follow it first. You follow the hover robot along a passageway of corridors. Eventually it indicates a room that you should enter. You go into the room and wait, but nothing seems to be happening and no one investigates you. Let's leave the room. The walls of the room you are in are bare and there appears to be no door in the doorway, but the boot which you toss at the doorway bounces back, confirming your suspicion that you are imprisoned within the room by an invisible energy sheet. Sometime later, guards return with a supervisor who asks whether you are going in for the contests. Let's confirm that you are here for the contest or try to explain what has happened. Let's try and explain what's happened. You decide that honesty is the best approach here. You attempt to explain to the guards that you have been mistakenly imprisoned and are here to see Katate. Roll 2 dice. You must roll equal or lower than your skill of 12 to succeed. Huzzah! The supervisor listens to your story and tries to contact Katate to confirm it. Eventually he makes contact. Katate confirms your story and the supervisor, apologizing, takes you to him. I wonder where he was the entire time. Let's follow the supervisor. Katate apologizes profusely for the confusion. He offers to provide you the finest view in the house if you wish to watch the contests. Let's see what these contests are. I have a pretty good idea, but... 2 guards appear to escort you to your seat. You're a little suspicious as a sly smile spreads across Katate's face as you leave. You try to talk to the guards, but they are silent, and you walk through a network of corridors. Oh, we're gonna head right into the arena, aren't we? The guards escort you to another room where you are instructed to change into tight-fitting uniforms. Oh dear. You're given sturdy helmets to wear and a choice of strange weapons. The guards will tell you nothing of your event, but lead you from the room down a tunnel. Your heart sinks as you emerge from the tunnel. You stand in a vast arena, and the alien cheers are deafening. In the center of the arena is a large, dark Manslayer robot, heavily armed. The door behind you slams shut and the Manslayer advances. Evidently, you must defeat this robot before it kills you. Ooh, okay, ask the science officer to analyze for weaknesses. Come on, Zarg. You turn to Science Officer Zarg for advice. Hopefully they're quick enough to think on their feet. We need to hit a 10 or lower. Good guy, Zarg. Captain, cries Zarg, the plastometal armor is the weak point. Whenever it twists, it exposes a circuitry. Armed with this valuable knowledge, you and the crew rush towards the Manslayer robot with your weapons at the ready. The robot whirs to life, and the blades on its arms whine menacingly as they slice through the air. Its toughened plastometal armor glints in the light as it bears down upon you with one sole purpose, to destroy you all. Luckily, the weapons and armor supplied to you and your crew have an added benefit. Crew members unskilled in combat will not receive a -3 skill penalty during this battle. Oh, thank God. In addition to this, if your crew manage to destroy the Manslayer robot first, any arms will cease to function, and the battle will be won. We must fight. Well, let's bookmark this. And let's see here. Manslayer robot, huh? Well, we've got a skill 12, skill 10. We're in pretty good shape skill-wise, actually. So let's fight. Zarg and the Manslayer robot. And I don't know what happened right there. Joel Robinson and the dicing arm. Vicious attack on Zarg. Ooh. Oh, we're outnumbered. That's why. That's not good. Alright. Now, we've got a stamina of 16, 18, and 20. 12, 5, 7, and 6. Let's do quick combats, because that seemed to work a lot better. 16, 18, 20. Looks like we're still good. Manslayer robot is at 10. More quick combat. Oh, we are destroying this Manslayer robot, but good. None of us have seemed to have been hit yet. Let's continue. More quick combat. Okay, we took out the slicing arm. It's at -1 stamina. So it's out of the fight. Manslayer robot has 8 stamina left, Dicing Arm has 3, Crushing Arm has 6. And we still haven't gotten hit. 6, 3, and 4. Let's keep it going. What is... Oh, Medical Officer. We can change the combat order. That's cool. I'm going to move Joel to go against the Manslayer robot. There we go. 4-1-2. We got some good crew. I'm very, very pleased. No one still hasn't got hit. Both arms should be gone. It's at 0 and -1 and 2 for the robot. And the threat is eliminated. Nice. The crowd roars as the robot topples and crashes to the ground. You're led away to meet the senior executive of the mining organization who presents you with the customary prize, freedom and a handsome quality of melanite. How nice of them. You mention your mission and your desire to find a way back to your own universe. He nods and asks you to follow him. Let's hope we don't actually show up at another arena. Head to the astronautical headquarters. He takes you to his astronautical headquarters and has words with the director of operations, who disappears into another room and returns with a printout. So far as his department can ascertain, the black hole you require is in Sector 083, but he cannot be sure of the correct timing. You thank him for the information and return to the ship to continue your journey. Well, that was an interesting episode. Sector 083. Medical Officer Muscles tends to the wounded on board the ship to stamina restored to any injured crew members, and I don't think any of us got hit. Your navigation officer informs you that there are 2 locations being picked up on the Traveler's scanners, a large wheel-shaped structure and a hyperspace jump away, a small black planet. So, we got a wheel-shaped structure or a small black planet. Let's go to the wheel-shaped structure. I love stuff like that. Kind of like Deep Space Nine. You slow down as you approach a large wheel-shaped structure, rotating slowly in space. Making radio contact, you learn it's the Spaceport La Jamil. Your ship is welcome to dock, and there are facilities for repairing ships, but payment must be made in a currency you have never heard of. Have you picked up anything during your travels which may be able to use to pay? Any of the following may be offered to pay your docking fees, as are all available to the Spaceport. Yellow mineral powder, melanite, or fluorescent green metal. Well... Any of the following may be offered. Bargain with them for entry, leave orbit and continues onwards. Well, the thing about it is, let's look at the adventure sheet. We don't have to worry about that. The Traveler's full up. So let's go ahead and leave orbit and continue onwards. Your crew are becoming anxious about their fate. Will they be spending the rest of their lives searching space for a dimension gate which may never appear? You're called on to make a statement to reassure them. Have you learned the time and space coordinates of the black hole, which will, hopefully, take you back to your own universe? I believe I have? You call on your section heads to the briefing room and announce that you believe you have the space and time coordinates for a likely black hole. If your velocity and timing are right, you ought to be able to pass through this black hole, which may be the Celsian void, and emerge in Earth's universe. You return to the bridge and prepare for the journey, setting off towards your black hole. You organize a list of potential space warps which might lead home. You confirm the coordinates you received at planet Malini and consider investigating potential space-time anomalies at Sector 83. If you have no confidence in your gathered intelligence or have no idea where to head next, you could choose a random black hole in a nearby galaxy. Let's head to Sector 83. That seems to be our best bet. Now you've worked out where to travel, you need to work out when to be there. You organize a list of potential times a space warp could occur. Oh no. If you have no idea when this even may occur, or are not confident with the information you have gathered, you can try simply arriving at a random time. Well, you know what we're going to do, guys? Let's go ahead and we're going to use a bookmark. And we're going to head back... We had a choice between the small black planet and the wheel-shaped structure. Let's head to the small black planet because we may be able to find the timing there, because I don't want to risk the crew. You drop out of hyperspace near a small black planet. Scanners cannot locate life on its surface. Yeah, let's go ahead and beam down anyway. Why not? Assemble your crew for the high-density planet with a metallic crust. Zarg and Muscles. When you have made your selection, continue to the planet. Let's beam down. You may benefit from the additional advice from your crew. Perhaps you could speak with your science officer or your engineering officer, or perhaps you could explore the planet right away. Let's speak with Zarg. The planet is black and barren with a rough, rocky surface. You explore for half an hour and then decide to beam back to the ship as your air will shortly run out. Trying your communicator, you are horrified to find that you cannot reach the ship. Science Officer Zarg suggests that this may be because of the magnetic rocks on the planet jamming your signal. They consider the problem for some time and come up with an idea. Roll 2 dice, 10 or lower. Huzzah! Thank you, Zarg. They suggest that you concentrate your phasers on a nearby rock. Soon the rock is white hot, and they hope that this light and heat will be picked up by the ship. Your oxygen is getting dangerously low, but all you can do is wait. A few moments later, Science Officer Zarg dematerializes and you breathe a sigh of relief as you also disappear. Your party reappears in the transmatter unit. You climb out of your grav suit minutes before the last of your oxygen depletes. Return to the bridge. You scan space around you. Ahead is a greeny-gray planet which you will reach in a few hours. There's also what seems to be a space station a short distance away. Well, we lived. That's good. Let's put in a new bookmark. Well, I wonder if this is the same space station that we were at earlier. Let's check. Large wheel-shaped structure. Okay. So, let's try the greeny-gray planet. You reduce speed some distance from the planet and take up an orbit position. Scanners indicate the greeny-gray planet supports life and there are positive indications of intelligent beings. Indeed, let's beam down. Zarg and Muscles. When you've made your selection, continue to the planet. We'll beam down. Oh, these guys look fun. Before beaming down, you try to establish radio contact with the planet to see whether you are welcome. After some moments, you receive a message and you switch it to the screen. A face appears and asks you to identify yourself. The alien is thin and white-skinned with a long, bone-shaped face. You explain who you are and ask whether you may beam down to meet him. He introduces himself as Luff, of the planet Terol 6, and gives you permission to beam down. Well, hopefully we won't end up in a gladiatorial arena. You go to the transmatter unit and beam down to coordinates in the vicinity of the radio transmission. Moments later, you appear on the planet. Looking around you, you find that you are not actually on the planet. You are near the edge of a vast floating plane, hovering in the air above the land. This plane is supporting a number of tall buildings. Some distance below, on the ground, you can see groups of what must be factories of some kind, surrounded by agricultural farmland. You're on an island, floating high in the sky. In front of you is a group of 3 of the lean Terol, with a couple of their children. One of the children runs over to you, grabbing your hand and pulling you off in another direction. Well, let's go ahead and get... I'm bookmarking this, just in case. Let's follow the child. The child pulls you off into a building where several other children are sitting. They squeal excitedly as you enter. Leaving you to talk with them, your guide runs off into another room and returns with another child, who introduces himself as Luff. You explain you are surprised that a child so young was able to contact your ship, and he relates the strange ways of the Terols. Okay, so Luff was a kid. Apparently, the children run the world of Terol. They are born with abnormal intelligence and abilities and are placed in high positions immediately after birth. As they grow older, they rapidly become senile and incapable of performing their jobs, and then they're replaced by youngsters. You explain your plight to Luff, who listens sympathetically. He may be able to help you in your search for a passage to your own universe. He also explains that their medicine is very advanced and he may be able to restore your crew to full strength. However, he asks that in exchange for help or medical treatment, you will have to take him aboard your ship and give him technical details of your weapon systems and defenses. Ooh. Well... well, we don't pay attention to Prime Directive here anyway, do we? This seems to be the right call, so let's put in our bookmark, and we need to get those coordinates. We need to know when the right time to go is. You follow him through several buildings into an observatory. He has words with another child who is operating a large telescope. The second child then questions you about your arrival. Sitting down at a desk, he talks into a computer terminal, and some moments later, information is displayed on the screen. Turning to you, he reports that he cannot be sure of the location of the black hole you seek, but he believes that your two universes will coincide on Stardate 21. Got it. You thank him for his help and return with Luff to the meeting room. Luff now asks you to keep your part of the bargain and transform his technical staff to the ship to investigate your weapons and defense systems. Well, we can honor our agreement with Luff or change our mind. We have what we need. Let's bookmark. And right now, I'm going to go ahead, despite the fact that we are giving weapons and defense systems to children, we'll go ahead and honor our agreement. 3 technical staff appear through one of the doors and you all beam back to the ship. You allow Luff and his staff access to your computer and take them on a tour of your engineering section. After a couple of hours, they have all the information that they need. Beam back down to the planet. Okay, instructions to prepare to leave orbit and to stamina restored to any injured crew members. You train your scanners on space, searching for your next destination. It appears that there'll be no life-supporting planets within range. You decide to try a hyperspace jump into another sector of space. Your crew are becoming anxious about their fate. Yes, indeed, I believe I have found our way out of here. So, we're going to go ahead and travel to the black hole at Sector 83. And because of Luff, we're going to go to Stardate 21. With time and coordinates locked in, you set a course for what you hope will be the way home. You set course and arrive at the black hole, dropping out of warp speed some distance from it. Carefully planning your angle of entry and velocity, you head into the dark void. You feel the Traveler being taken by the immense gravitational force and order all crew to strap themselves in. Suddenly the ship lurches forward and begins to speed up. The G-force is unbearable. You, along with the rest of the crew, pass out. You'll never know whether or not this was the correct black hole. Aw, perhaps it was your angle of entry, or maybe it was your speed, or even the information you have. Whatever the error, the Traveler never emerges from the void, and your mission has been unsuccessful. Aye, aye, aye. Well, that's unfortunate. Well then, let's go to one of the other locations, I guess. I'll tell you what, well, we tried our first attempt to get back to Earth, or at least to Earth's universe, and it did not work, but we will try again next time, guys. I hope you all have enjoyed the episode. If you liked the episode, go ahead and click like down below, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment, that'd be a big help, and we'll see you next time. Later days, everyone.